So I'm cracking open bag D to start building the rear axle, a couple other things. The first thing I'm doing in bag D is putting together the rear differential, which is locked.
Team Baxter.
The rear differential is the exact same setup as the front, except for it has a diff locker instead of the differential gears in, so I won't need to add any oil. I'll just be putting the diff locker in and putting this rear diff together. Got the rear diff put together. Also went ahead and put the rear drive shaft together. It's the same procedure as the front drive shaft that I did in step C, with the same spring and metal head and all. So now I'm going to install this drive shaft onto the differential cup. It gets a couple bearings in there, one on each side, and then drop the pinion in. Got that curved pinion to mesh up with the differential. And put the differential cover on, and then keep on moving and put the sides on the rear axle. Starting to assemble the rear axles. It's a pretty simple installation. A bearing, get a spacer in there, and another bearing. All this goes into this plastic housing. And then the square end of this axle goes into the lock differential here, and the same thing occurs on the other side. Pretty simple rear axle. So as I did in the front, I'm going to change the hexes to these locking hexes I have from STRC. These hexes have a small grub screw that tightens down on the shaft to stop it from falling out so you don't lose your pin. So I'm going to use these in place of the stock hex, which does not have that little grub screw, so they keep falling off of the axle. It's just a pain. Personal preference, not needed. After I get those hexes on, install the lower links. These big beefy plastic Vaterra links. Got 2 of those in the bottom, and then 2 thinner plastic links up top. Not much flex in them. Pretty rigid, hard plastic. And those get screwed in right there on those upper links. The rear end's assembled with the replaced hubs, and now it gets connected to the back of the chassis that's already been built. Connect the drive shafts on the 2 parts, and then there's a couple screws holding it all together, and then the rear will be on the chassis.